Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're only halfway through Game Week 7, but I thought we'd have an early look at some players to buy ahead of Game Week 8. Okay, we'll start by having a look at the projections from Solio Analytics. If you don't know about them, get to know solioanalytics.com @solioanalytics. These are the next 5 game weeks for projected goals and clean sheet odds. So if we're looking at the goals first, we've got the typical suspects at the top. We've got Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. I mean, we know about the Arsenal players, we know about the Chelsea players, we know about the City players. They're on a little trend downwards, as you can see as well. Their fixtures just started getting a little bit worse. But Arsenal are definitely a team to look at now. The first player we're going to look at because of that reason is Bukayo Saka. We had a look at him last week. We know that he is now back from injury. He didn't play in the Champions League. He then played 90 minutes at the weekend and scored a goal. He took the penalty, which is the most important piece of information that we got from that game, because we kind of thought that Gyökeres might be on penalties, or we thought it might be split, but Bukayo Saka was the one that took the penalty. So he's only played 5 games. He's got 2 goals in that time, 9 shots, 3 shots on target, 7 shots in the box. XG and XA numbers aren't really too much to write home about, especially given that some of that XG number will be partly made up of the penalty XG, which is quite a lot, probably about 0.8-ish. 2 big chances, 1 big chance created. Like I say, the numbers aren't all that, but the fixtures are fantastic. If you look down there, Fulham away. Fulham aren't the worst defence, don't get me wrong, but they do seem to just be shipping goals at the moment, and I don't know what it is. Last season they were quite a good defence, and it didn't translate into kind of clean sheets. Their expected numbers were great, but their actual clean sheet numbers weren't. This season they just haven't been a good defence, to be honest. So this is a great fixture. Crystal Palace at home, not so good, but it is at home, and Arsenal are just good, so I don't hate it. Then Burnley, Sunderland, Tottenham don't look great at the moment. Like I say, the fixtures are just unbelievable. So Bukayo Saka, now that we know he's probably on penalties, I do think we could see them share it going forward. But yeah, we know that Bukayo Saka is going to be on some penalties at least, and he's just great value at 9.9 million now. If we go back to the projections again, now we're looking at the projected goals still. You've got, again, kind of usual suspects if you're going down here. So, like I say, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Brighton. Now, we talked about Minte a lot over the last few weeks. I think Minte is a great player to look at if you're bringing someone in. The team after that is Newcastle. Now, Anthony Gordon is definitely one that we want to be looking at. He obviously got sent off against Liverpool and served a pretty lengthy suspension. He is now back. He scored in the Champions League. He took a penalty in the Champions League, which is pretty important to know that he is on penalties. And his numbers were brilliant before he got that suspension in the league. So 11 shots in 3 games, 4 shots on target in 3 games. The XG numbers pretty good as well. 3 big chances in 3 games, so he was averaging a big chance every game. That is very, very good numbers. And obviously, their fixtures do get pretty good as well. Brighton away doesn't seem like too bad a fixture. Their defence isn't kind of elite or anything. Then Fulham, we've already mentioned. West Ham, we know how bad they've been defensively. Obviously, Nuno has now come in, so we may see that improve. But for now, all we can go on is how bad it's been. Brentford away, their defence is bad. Very bad. So the next 4, obviously, it's City in the 5th game there. Don't like that too much. Although, again, they've been shipping goals a little bit. But these next 4 fixtures, admittedly 3 of them are away from home. But I still think that at 7.4 million, Gordon is pretty good value, to be honest. Going back to the projections again, the next team down we've got after Newcastle, if you look, is Bournemouth, and their trend line goes up. So for the next couple of weeks or the next few weeks, their fixtures are kind of mediocre. Nothing to write home about really. But longer term, they are much, much better. So if we look at the player of the moment, Antoine Semenyo, there is nothing not to like about him. He is an absolute beast at the moment. As you can see, 6 goals, 3 assists in 7 appearances. Outrageous. He's not going to keep up that rate, of course, but even if he has a bit of a drop off, he is still unbelievable value at 7.8 million. Now, to be honest, by the time the Game Week 8 deadline comes, he'll probably be 8 million. He may even be 7.9 million by the time you're watching this video. So he will be going up in price, but that doesn't change how great value he is. He could be 9 million and still be well worth it, especially if he's definitely on penalties. which we're hoping he will be. Shots in the box, 15. Again, fantastic from 7 appearances. XG 3.73. XA, not much to write home about, but we don't really care about that. Big chances 7, averaging 1 a game. It's all just fantastic. He is absolutely unbelievable. There really isn't much to dislike about him. Okay, if we go back to the projections again, we're still looking at attackers, and we're going to look at a guy who isn't on the projections. I've got a top 10 projected goal teams here. You're looking at the likes of Palace, Spurs, United. You're looking at some of the better teams in the league. The reason that this team and this guy won't be on here is because of how bad the team have been, not because of how bad he's been individually. The player I'm talking about is Bowen. Obviously, West Ham have been horrific so far this season. We know that. They are one of the worst teams in the league defensively, and going forward, they haven't been that great. They didn't score against Arsenal, although that was probably the hardest fixture they could have, Arsenal away. They scored against Everton, and they actually looked a lot better against Everton. So I'm expecting them to improve under Nuno. I'm expecting Bowen to just be the talisman as well. He scored 3 goals in 7 games, which for a team that are playing that bad isn't a bad return at all. 15 shots in 7 games, 7 shots on target, 11 shots in the box. The XG and XA numbers aren't really great. We know that he's probably not on penalties. I think Paquetá will be the one that's on penalties, and he's had no big chances, but he seems to score still. He will be the talisman for that team. And the fixtures are fantastic. Brentford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home, Burnley at home, Bournemouth away. The fixtures don't get much better. He currently is just playing for not a very good team. Okay, now, if we go back to the projections again, so we're looking at clean sheets here. Now, we've got the normal teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Fulham. If you look at the trend line for Fulham, that trend line looks fantastic. Now, this probably isn't the week to buy him, because if we look at the fixtures here, Arsenal and Newcastle aren't great fixtures, but then from game week 10 onwards, Wolves at home, Everton away, Sunderland at home, it gets really good. Now, the reason we like Andersen isn't necessarily for the clean sheets. One, it's his price. 4.5 million is unbelievable. And secondly, it's for defensive contributions. He has hit the defensive contributions threshold in all games but one. Game week 1, he didn't hit it, but in every single other game, he's hit the defensive contribution threshold. So he's got a floor of 3 or 4 points, and if he then gets a clean sheet on top or even an attacking return randomly, then he will be absolutely fantastic. So he's one to maybe not buy this week, but just to have in the back of your head that you can look to bring him in very soon. So that's all for this one. Those are the players to look at for game week 8. If you like the video, do hit like, do subscribe. So many of you aren't subscribed. 83% of you that watch the videos aren't subscribed, so make sure you do that. But for now, I will see you in the next one.